Hello everybody, and Labadiana once again from Kaunas. Well, this video I'm going to be giving you a concise history of Lithuania. By no means is this comprehensive. There's plenty of dates that I've missed out of here. I wanted to make sure that this was nice and short. You could go on obviously for hours talking about the history of Lithuania. So we're going to look at some key dates, and I thought, well, where's the best place I could start this video? And it had to be, didn't it? Kaunas Castle in the snow. What a sight. Magnificent. So, let's do this. So, I'm going to take you back 1,000 years to the year 1009. And whilst I suppose nothing majorly eventful happened in Lithuanian history, it was a really important moment because it was the first time that Lithuania was mentioned as a place. And this happened because a Christian missionary who was sent to obviously convert the pagan population to Christianity was murdered by the pagan Lithuanians. So moving forward, and as I said, this is going to be concise, so I'm going to skip forward 250 years now. Plenty of things obviously happened in that time period, but this is a really important date, and it was 1253. The year 1253 was when King Mindaugas was, had his coronation. So this was important because actually, well, Mindaugas was the first and only king of Lithuania. But Mindaugas was really important because he helped solidify the Lithuanian state, and it also ensured that the Lithuanian state was never conquered by crusaders. Plenty of the lands around Lithuania were actually conquered by the Teutonic Knights. So this was quite an important piece of history for Lithuania. So in 1385 we see the Act of Creva, and this basically committed the Grand Duke of Lithuania, Jogaila, to marry the Queen of Poland, Jadwiga. So, note here how I called Jadwiga the Queen of Poland. Well, this was actually incorrect. Jadwiga was in fact known as the King of Poland, even though she was obviously female. Now this was because the leader or the ruler of Poland had to be known as the king. So Jadwiga, although she was female, was known as the King of Poland and not the Queen of Poland. Now this was really important because firstly it ensured about 400 years of joint Lithuanian-Polish cooperation, but also this marriage effectively turned Lithuania into a Catholic state because Jogaila had to convert to Catholicism. So this really ended the threat of any kind of invasion from crusaders. Okay, so now we move forward again to the year 1410. And this was where the Battle of Žalgiris, or Grunewald, happened. Basically, the combined Lithuanian/Polish forces defeated the Teutonic Knights. This essentially made the Lithuanian-Polish state the biggest in Europe. And actually, there's still loads of mentions of Žalgiris even today in Lithuania. There's actually two sports teams. You have Žalgiris of Kaunas, which is one of the biggest basketball teams here, and you also have Žalgiris of Vilnius, which is their football team from Vilnius. So it's still really, really well known, and obviously still even today known by the Lithuanian people. We're in the year 1514 now. We see a majestic victory for the combined Lithuanian and Polish army, with less than 30,000 Lithuanians and Poles defeating an army of 80,000 Muscovites at the Battle of Orsha. However, even though the Muscovite army was defeated, this would not signal an end to Russian interest in the region. Well, for another 400 years really. It's now the year 1569, and this was important because it was where the Union of Lublin happened. Now, the Union of Lublin saw Lithuania and Poland kind of solidify their state as the Commonwealth. However, it effectively made Lithuania secondary in status to Poland. And after this, we actually saw lots of the Lithuanian nobility and all parts of Lithuanian society really start to speak in Polish, to kind of adapt their ways a little bit more to Poland. Okay, it's 1655 now, and the Battle of Vilnius has taken place. The Muscovites have sacked and occupied Vilnius, and what we then see is the ending of the Lithuanian Polish Commonwealth, really as a force in Europe. So, in the year 1795, we saw the Third Partition of Lithuania and Poland. So Lithuania came under control of the Russian Empire, and actually under the control of the Russian Empire, the Lithuanian language was actually banned from use. This actually was kind of counterproductive because it led to a Lithuanian national revival. But Lithuania would not gain sovereignty over its own country until the end of World War I. So we move forward to the year 1918, and Lithuania manages to gain its independence after World War I. However, it wouldn't be long before Lithuania would be under the control of foreign powers again. And in 1940, after already ceding the Memelland, or Klaipeda as it's now known, back to Germany, Lithuania was occupied by the Soviet Union. And in World War II, it switched to German control at one point, before, by the end of World War II, being back in the hands of the Soviet Union. Now, we see for another 45 years the occupation of Lithuania by the Soviet Union. And in 1990, Lithuania finally managed to regain its independence. And from then on, for the last, well, it's nearly 31 years now, Lithuania has been an independent country. In 2004, it joined the EU, and we are where we are today. So with Lithuania as a lovely independent country in Europe, which I love very much. And yeah, there's not much more to add on that. I hope you've enjoyed the video. I really enjoyed finding out lots of these facts about Lithuanian history. It's such a beautiful country. I kind of am saying this at the end of every video, but I really recommend coming here when it's possible and discovering some of the history of this fantastic place, but also all the other things as well. Like, look at this. You know, some of these beautiful sceneries and landscapes that you find. So I hope you've enjoyed it. If you have enjoyed it, please subscribe, please give the video a like, and leave your comments and thoughts below.